Hello everyone, and welcome to this Alive Metrics tables tutorial. So just before you start, a quick note to remind everyone that you do not need to understand everything that you are going to see in this small tutorial to be able to be successful with the tables. Just to remember that the two systems, the AMPSP, the Profit Share Program, and the tables are connected. So if you focus on the rules from the PSP program, you will be successful on the tables as well. Okay, the two systems work exactly in the same fashion. The dynamics of the two systems are based in the same principle, which is the amount of people, of successful people you have in your front line. Okay, the number of directs, that's what we call senior executives, which we will cover in a minute. Okay, so introducing you to the marketing team or tables. Marketing team actually is the legal name. Okay, we like to call tables, but the right name would be marketing team. So you start on your tables as one of the 4 bronze positions. We have 3 levels there. That is the bronze, silver, and gold. Okay, when you start, everyone starts always on the bronze position. In this case here, Pat is your leader. He invited you to the business, so you arrived in Pat's team. So there you have your 3 positions. What happens now when Bob 1 arrives there? Now the 4th bronze position is filled. So this is exactly what happens. So when your table is complete, Alive Metrics pays Pat a marketing fee. He follows his leader and everyone advances 1 level. There you go. Pat will follow his leader wherever table his leader is. So now let's have a look at the splits a little bit in more detail here. So your 3 positions are there, then Bob 1 arrives there. So as we said, Pat receives his marketing fee and follows his leader. Then what happens after that? 2 new tables are created. Then what is going to happen now is everyone on the right hand side of the table will advance 1 level to the newly created right table, and everyone on the left hand side of the table will advance 1 level to the newly created left table. So Mel will advance 1 level to the right table, Sue will advance 1 level to the left table, U1 and U2 will advance 1 level to the right table, and Bob 1 and U3 will advance 1 level to the left table, and the original table disappears. That's it. That is the business. If you understand this slide, you understand everything about tables. This is exactly the way the tables work, and it doesn't matter if it's a feeder table, entry-level table, millionaires table, whatever it is, they all work in exactly the same fashion. So what happens now, when the bronze level is filled, now the table will split again, and now you go to the gold position, to the top position, and when the bottom is filled again, now it's your time to start to make money. So let's do it again just for the fun. Okay? So what happens? The bottom here is filled, then Pat gets paid his marketing fee and follows his leader. 2 new tables are created. Everyone on the right hand side advances 1 level to the newly created right table, and everyone on the left hand side advances 1 level to the newly created left table, and the original table disappears. Now then, when all positions of the bronze positions are filled, the table will split again and you will advance and start making money. Okay? It's a very easy and fun way of making money through the tables without really making any calculation at all, which is why we are going to share with you what are the intentions behind the AMT, the Alive Metrics tables. Why did we create a system like this? Alive Metrics aims to be an all-inclusive program, and since shapes and colors are a universal language, we based our business model on that principle. This helps to include everyone because our brain works naturally with visuals. And as we aim to bring to the masses a simple and affordable business opportunity that works, we removed unnecessary and meaningless numbers, percentages, volume calculations, and other industry jargon and complexities. And we develop also a revolving system to ensure fairness so that everyone has an equal opportunity to be successful. No one stays at the top making all the money. This is one of the most important things that we like about tables. It's very, very fair. So we believe that, like any other business, volume is the key. And making our business accessible to most of the world's population exponentially increases the potential for success for all. And since there is no boundaries or countries in our program and everyone is connected, each individual effort benefits the whole. Together we are one team. And now we would like to share with you a very small clip that emphasizes the principle behind the AMT program.
Yo, listen up. This is your home. It's the only one you got. This place is pretty, but you can't live there. You can't even get there. So I repeat, this is your home. It's the only one you got. Cherish it, protect it. It's the only one you're gonna get. These guys, they're your neighbors. They ain't going away. They ain't leaving. You have to get along with them. So you have to learn to share. You have to get along. You have to learn to get along. Because they are your neighbors. They're not going away. Okay, all this stuff, the animals, the waters, the sky, the ground, the bugs, the fish, the tacos, the people, they're all connected. Everything is connected. They all depend on one another. If you ignore that, you're doomed. Repeat, doomed. Okay, so listen up. It's all one. Not two worlds, not three, one. Just one. So get it in gear. Remember, all is one. Okay? Hit it.
Okay, let's have a look at the full program overview now. So all amounts are in US dollars. So we have the entry-level table, mid-level table, and freedom table. This is what we call the main program. And we have here on the left-hand side the feeder table, which is optional, and on the right-hand side we have the millionaires table. So let's have a look first at the main program. So everyone starts here or on the feeder table. So you register first for free in the AM PSP program, then activate your AMT positions by paying for your e-store registration, $75 for the feeder table or $260 to start here on the entry-level table. So what happens now when you arrive on the gold position on the entry-level table and all 4 bronze positions are filled, you earn $60 per position. Then you advance to the mid-level table. So now when you arrive on the gold position on the mid-level table and all 4 bronze positions are filled, you earn a $100 marketing fee per position. Then you advance to the freedom table. Again, when you arrive at the gold position on the freedom table and all 4 bronze positions are filled, you start cycling on the freedom table and you earn a marketing fee on the first and second cycle of $1,000 and thereafter $2,400. You need to be a senior executive to qualify for the payments on the freedom table, and the $2,400 is $2,300 in cash and a $100 e-voucher to be spent on the shopping mall. And you can do this over and over again. This is what we call the revolving system, when we said that no one stays at the top making all the money. So every time you arrive on the gold position, you receive your marketing fee and you go back to the bottom, and now is your turn to help others. You are going to be pushing people to the top just like they did for you. And also it's very important to remember that you never go back to either the mid-level table or the entry-level table. You stay revolving on the freedom table. Now let's have a look at the feeder table to the entry-level table. So the feeder table is when people choose to pay $75 for the e-store registration. Again, when you cycle out of the feeder table, you go to the entry-level table. When you arrive on the gold position and all 4 bronze positions on the entry-level tables are filled, you earn $60 marketing fee per position. Now, the only difference when people choose to start on the feeder table paying the $75 e-store registrations, so the only difference is when you choose to start on the feeder table, the payout for first cycle on freedom table is $750 per position. Then you have the 2 cycles normal, like on the entry-level table, so at $1,000 per cycle, and thereafter $2,400. And also on the 3rd cycle, you progress to the millionaire's table. So if you choose to start on the $75 e-store registration, it's okay. It's just a little bit slower and you make a little bit less money on the first cycle. Now let's have a look from the freedom table to the millionaire's table. So as we saw before, when you start cycling on the freedom table, you earn on the 1st and 2nd cycles $1,000 marketing fee, and thereafter $2,400. So why do you get paid a little bit less on the 1st and 2nd cycle? This is very simple, because your 1st and 2nd cycles of each position on the freedom table creates your positions on the millionaire table, which means that you never have to put your hands in your pocket again. The money is generated through the system on the 2 first cycles and your positions are created. So now you have 3 positions on the millionaire's tables. So you have 3 positions on the freedom and 3 on the millionaire's table. A total of 6 positions, but you only pay for your first 3 when you pay for your e-store registration. So there are 6 positions, 6 sources of income that you have on the tables. And then you start cycling on the millionaire's tables. So every time you cycle on the millionaire tables, you earn a marketing fee of $10,000 cash, and you can do this over and over again. Now, very important to notice as well, when you are on the gold position, and this doesn't happen only with the millionaire tables, it happens with all the tables. When you are on the gold positions, you don't have to wait until all 4 bronze positions are filled to start to see some cash flow. So in this case here, on the millionaire tables, when you are at the top here, when the first position is filled, you receive already $1,000 marketing fee, and these payments happen in real time. The moment someone arrives there is $1,000 available in your account in real time. Then when the second position is filled, another $1,000 and another $1,000, and when the 4th position is filled, $7,000, and that completes your $10,000. And now you are cycling with 3 positions on the millionaire's tables and 3 positions on the freedom table. Now let's have a look at the income potential. Now we are covering only the freedom table. If I cycle only once a month on the freedom table, and only once a month, remember you have 3 positions. That's basically 1 position cycling every 3 months. For example, if I have my position 1 cycling in January, my position 2 cycling in February, and my position 3 cycling in March, that's really 1 position cycling every month, so which is 1 cycle per month. So my income potential for the year is $28,000. Now if I cycle once a week, my yearly earning potential is $124,000, and if I cycle daily, my yearly earning potential is $876,000. Now let's have a look at the millionaire's tables. If I cycle only once a month on the millionaire's table, is $120,000 a year. If I cycle weekly, it's $520,000 a year. And if I cycle daily, $3.6 million a year. Now, let's combine the two for the fun. What happens if I cycle once a month on the freedom table and once a month on the millionaire's table? My yearly earning potential is $148,000. If I cycle once a week on each table, is $644,000. And if I cycle every day on the freedom and on the millionaire's table, my yearly earning potential is $4.5 million. Now let's have a quick look now at the qualification. When you hear us talking about senior executive, what does that mean? When you start, you always have 3 positions, so which means that your top position is already a leader, which we use colors for everything, would be the blue, and your position U2 and U3 are agents. What happens now when you invite your 4 people, as you can see there in blue, your 4 people with 3 positions each, your position U1 is now a senior executive red, and your position U2 and U3 are executive greens. So basically, to be a senior executive, you need 2 executives under you. So the next step now would be to help your 4 people to find a 4. Like this, all your 3 positions will become senior executives, and all your 3 positions qualify for all the payments on the freedom level table and on the millionaire's table. Very important, the qualifications are for life. Even if someone drops later on, if they don't renew their AMT positions, it doesn't matter for you. Once you are a senior executive, you are a senior executive for life. Basically, what we need to do is this: find your 4 people and help them to find their 4. And this is also what we call your immediate team. These 4 levels there is basically you and your 4 directs. When you hear us talking about immediate team, this is exactly what it is. So this was step number 1. So what would be step number 2? Help everyone in your immediate team to become senior executive, preferably without stacking or doing the work for them. So this is how you want to see your immediate team. You want to make sure that everyone in your immediate team is a senior executive. That's the way to become successful with the tables. Then after you do this, the next step would be to add as many directs as possible to your front line under business centers 2 and 3. So you can add as many people as you want on your front line. Okay, so there is no limit to the amount of directs that you can have. The more directs you have, the more money you will make on the PSP program, because you are making 10% on your directs, and the faster and the quicker you will cycle on the tables, because the more people you have following you, the more you will cycle. And then all you do is you repeat step 1 and 2 for these new people that you are adding to your front line. So now when you are on the entry-level table, on the gold position, and the first position on the bronze level is filled, that's when you when the payment for your debit card, AM MasterCard, happens. But actually, there is $15 that is debited from your AMT e-money account for your MasterCard, but the MasterCard is actually shipped when you pay for your e-store registration, either $75 or $260. Now, some important points regarding tables. Now, the downline size in table programs is not the right questions to ask, and is not really relevant. Okay, we heard a lot of people saying, oh, I have 1,000 people on my downline, I have 10,000 people on my downline, and I'm not cycling. So size of downline is irrelevant on tables. Now, a more relevant question is, how many senior executives have you placed directly under you on your front line? So this is the right question that you ask on tables. not the size of your downline. Okay, this is not a binary system or a four-set metric system or a unilevel system. This is a little bit different. So the only thing that it counts is how many people you are helping directly, not the size of your downline. And when you achieve your 4 people and you help them to find their 4, this basically only qualifies your 3 AMT positions for cycle payments on the Freedom table. Now, the more senior executives you have directly under you, the faster you will cycle. So if you want to go for the weekly, daily cycles, try to have more, obviously more than 4 senior executives on your front line. So the more people you help, the faster you will cycle. And also very important, until your whole team is on the Freedom table, the speed of movement will depend on the splits and on the level of activity on your tables. Okay, so remember, when the table splits, if you end up on a team that is a little bit slow, it could not work as fast. But once you are on the Freedom table and your team is on the Freedom table, everything goes back to normal and things should work really fast for you, provided you have helped your team to become senior executives. Now, if you are on the mid-level table or Freedom table, your referrals will start always on the feeder table if they pay $75 for the e-store registration or $260 for the entry. So you will not see them until they advance to the table level you are on. So remember, you cannot be on the mid-level table or on the Freedom level table. You introduce someone and expect to see them on your table. They have to start just like you, either on the feeder or on the entry-level table. And as they progress, they will catch up with you. So if you refer someone on the feeder and you are on the entry-level table, they will not land on your table and will have to catch up to you. Also remember that each AMT position has its own AMT e-money account. So to see your earnings for each individual position, you need to log into each account separately. Now let's have a look at how new agents arrive on tables. This is a very important point. Okay? Now everything happens like this: downline first, then upline. So it doesn't matter. Your people will always help you because they're gonna always be pushing you and your team. So for example, let's say that this agent there, David something there, invited someone, okay? But now David is on the mid-level table, okay? So the software will look for his downline. So the next person on his tree, on his downline, is also on the mid-level table. The next one is also on the mid-level table. The next one is also on the mid-level table. Now the next one is on the entry-level table. So this is where the software will place the new agent. So now let's say, just for this exercise, that there was no one on the entry-level table on David's downline. So what happens? The computer will take this new referral to the upline. Then what happens now? The next upline is on the mid-level table, is not on the entry-level table. The next one is on the Freedom table. So the computer will keep searching on the upline until it finds someone on the entry-level table or on the feeder table if this new agent paid only $75 for the e-store registration. So remember, feeder sign-ups go to the feeder table and entry-level table sign-ups goes to the entry-level table. Now this is a very important point that is on the website where all the tables are explained. How does the system determine who goes where? The system, through various mathematical equations, places the agents according to chronological arrival order through sales generated. Though to the agent this may appear random, it is structured within the algorithms of the system. Our tables split symmetrically in two. When new team members arrive, they will be placed on your side of the new table, provided there is enough space. Allowing the computer to determine where agents are placed allows the systems to remain fair without any human intervention, fear of favoritism or retribution. Now let's have a look at how the system basically mixes everyone. Why when you are on the freedom table you can see people from other countries. Sometimes you may see even on the entry-level table or on the mid-level table, but on the freedom table is where you predominantly see people from other places. This is what we do. When you get a traditional table system, what happens? Remember, each table is split into two, so which means the number of tables will increase all the time. So it takes like an upward shape, like these arrows that you can see there. So what happens? When the business, let's call the birthplace any country, for example Thailand, for example the business starts in Thailand. So when the business starts in India, because of the configuration here of the software, whatever happens in India here, it won't really affect the birth country here. Okay? And then the business starts, for example, in China. So whatever happens in China, because it goes on this upward fashion, okay, whatever happens in China, it doesn't really get mixed with what happens in India or what happens here. And then the business starts, for example, on the United States or in Europe, everywhere. As you can see here, everything here is completely disconnected. They are all like part of the individual businesses. So on our system, we basically what we did, we invert these dynamics, and what we do every time basically that we start a new market, we mixed some positions from this market to the top positions. So for example, when the business starts in India, the first positions are linked to the first positions on the business, and then when the business starts in China is the same thing. So when the business starts in Europe, the same thing, the USA, the same thing. What happens now? All these new people here, their leader is the same leader. So when they follow their leader, they are going to land all in the same table, mixing everyone. Okay, so this is basically what we use to mix everyone, to make sure that they will basically everyone will benefit from the momentum at the top. So what happens in this way, we are all connected. It's one world, one market. We are all part of one team. We are not acting like individual businesses. It's a cooperative effort, so everyone basically will be helping everyone. Now let's cover the flow of money. We like to have transparency with all the money, and we like to show people what happens. When everyone joins on the entry-level table, okay, they pay $260. $20 out of this money goes into the pool for the profit share program on the first year, and $240 buys your first 3 positions on the entry-level table. So these are your 3 positions there. Now what happens when the 4th position is filled on the entry-level table? So 4 times 80 is $320. So $320 are generated on the entry-level table. Now let's have a look at the distribution of these $320. Okay, so when you are at the top there, you earn $60 per position. So when you are at the gold position and the first position is filled, this is when you paid for the card. Remember, we covered this a few slides prior to this. So when the second position is filled, then you start to see the cash in your AMT e-money account. So $15, $15, and $15. For the other 2 positions, because you have already paid for your card, it's going to be $60. And remember, no matter who sponsors these people that arrive there, that's what we call spillover. So it doesn't matter how these people arrive there on the bottom. If you are on the gold position, you will see the money in your account. So now 320 minus 60 is $260. So when in this case here, when you advance to the mid-level table, you are actually carrying $260 with you. So now each position, bronze position on the mid-level table, is now worth $260. So $260 multiplied by 4 is $1,040. Let's see what happens with the $1,040. Same thing, when you are at the top, okay, you receive a $100 per position. From now on, there is some qualifications. You need to be a leader. But remember, with 3 positions, your top position is already a leader. So you will get paid for your top position. Okay, so 25 when the first position is filled, 25 when the second position is filled, another 25 on the third, and another 25 on the fourth. Now, very important to remember, the first 2 positions to be filled there, this $50 is going to go to your support package, which is a one-off of $50 and paid out of your earnings. The support package is the total of all the different forms of support we provide for our members, from the ticket system to marketing materials, training materials, tutorials, videos, webinars, etc. So what happens now? $1,040 minus 100 is $940. So when you advance to the freedom table, now each position now on the freedom table is worth $940. So when you start cycling there on the freedom table, each position is worth $940. So 940 multiplied by 4 is $3,760. So let's see what happened with this $3,760. From the third cycle, because remember the first and second cycle, all the money goes to create your millionaire stable position. So from the third cycle, when you are on the gold position, you earn a marketing fee of $2,400. Remember, you need to be a senior executive to earn this marketing fee. So when you are at the top there on the gold position and the first position is filled, you receive $300, on the second $300, on the third $300, and then $1,400. So basically, out of this money as well, $940, that's your re-entry on the freedom table. So $940 puts you back in the freedom table. That's the revolving system. So you are technically getting paid 89% of the money available on the freedom table. This concept is called a social business, which is based on the work of Muhammad Yunus. These are 2 great books that probably everyone should read these books. If everyone read these books, the world probably wouldn't be on the state there is now. So social business marries the interest of corporations with economic development in a way that has never been tried before. Yunus isn't calling for capitalism abolition, he's calling for its enlightenment. So what happens now with the balance? Remember, out of 3,760, basically you got 3,340. What happens with the other 420? So it all goes to operational expenses and leaders' profit share and training and product and research and development. So basically, even this $420 end up in your pocket through the PSP program. So this is one of the sources of revenue also of the PSP program. Now it's very important for you to learn as much as you can about the tables if you want. Remember that we already mentioned that you don't really have to understand how exactly everything works. It's not going to make you more money just because you know exactly how the tables work. But if you want to know a little bit more, this is where you find all the information. So try to read on your back office, on the second drop down menu, AMT Alive Metrics Tables. You can have a look at this page, Tables Product Trading Program video. There is a lot of information in this page here. Especially read this part there, the Alive Metrics Product Trading Program. That's how we named our tables as well. Okay, so and there is 2 sections there that is very important, and if you want to read, one is the follow the leader, and the other one is splitting of tables. This will explain how exactly the split tables and the follow the leader works. Like this is going to give you a deeper understanding of the tables. And if you want to have a look at any part of the legals about the program, at the bottom of all the pages on the AMT drop-down menu, you just click on legals and you can read the legal reports from our lawyers. So we thank you very much for considering Alive Metrics, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. So we'll see you at the training webinars. Bye bye.